everybody, and welcome to this week's landscape photography vlog. In this episode I'll be taking you to the rolling hills of Tuscany for an atmospheric sunrise, shooting the Sigma 1-400mm. Lots of shots coming up. I hope you enjoy this episode.
Good morning. We are in Tuscany and I'm set up at a fairly well-known location with rolling hills and beautiful country homes, and currently I'm just waiting for the light to peek over the horizon and light up this really beautiful atmospheric scene behind us. Drove in here this morning after a super early start, hence the face, but didn't expect a whole lot of fog, and as I arrived here I could still see in the dark that the valley was holding a fair bit more than I expected it to, which is lovely. But yeah, so what I've done now is I've picked out a couple of compositions sort of over this way and over here. I just know of about 3 to 4 spots on the 100 to 400mm lens, because I feel like I need to punch in here fairly deep into the landscape to just eliminate any kind of distractions, because there's a lot going on. But yeah, so at this point in time, the sun should be poking over there in, oh my god, over here in just a couple of minutes. And then I can sort of just shoot my different shots that I've thought of, from left to right. So I've got a comp there with just some nice layers, another one with a house in it and a few more layers. The main one, of course, is this this building right there. I'm sure you would have seen heaps of shots of that so far, so I'm not too focused on that one. I'll get one because it's pretty, but this is not what I'm here for. Yeah, so it was good to arrive here with tons of time to find the right spot. I tried a few different locations to actually set up the camera. Heaps of other photographers down in the field behind me, which is very different to my usual Tassie experience. Ooh, it's getting real bright now. So I've punched in onto the, I think it's called Podere Belvedere, just in front of me. And I'm at about, 160 mils. Means not too many distractions. If I zoom further out, you get this foreground in it, which isn't the worst. I reckon that's actually going to light up super nicely, and I'll get that shot too. But I think I'm only going to be shooting the 100 to 400 this morning, because with that I'm just able to pick a small frame there, pick another small frame there, and I feel like that's the ideal way to get the most out of this landscape. Here we go. I reckon the sun is just about to peak, and then let's get some shots.
And once the sun was higher up, I found a different angle to shoot the farmhouse from. I'd love for you to tell me which of the two you prefer, the original one on the left or the one on the right with more light on the scene and a slightly different angle. And I captured this dreamy scene during blue hour.
Holy moly. So I have worked my way across the whole vista to get the individual captures that I had, thought of earlier and sort of lined up and made mental notes of. And they're fine, but I keep being drawn back to this one composition that I can't quite get enough of. And it's incredibly minimalist. All it is light, beautiful contrast, one lone tree as a subject, and in the background a small tree just for a little bit of scale and depth. I can't believe how nice this is. Let's see if you can see that on the screen here. Super hard to make out, I bet. But yeah, so you've got this individual tree. You've got all these beautiful lines. It's surrounded by fog and atmosphere, perfectly backlit. And then, probably can't see that, but in the background here is a smaller tree that just provides depth, which, what else could I ask for? Well, I keep an eye out on everything that's going on around me, and I'm shooting other compositions as well. I just find myself constantly going back to this one, and I think the reason for that is I like photography that doesn't necessarily include human elements. It's just the way it is, and I like the wilderness element of photography, and that's super hard to find in this area here, because obviously it's Tuscany, right? Like, it's super developed. And all things considered, super developed, and it still looks like this. I mean, come on. But yeah, this one frame here is disconnected. It just feels ethereal, and it feels like it exists by itself. I think that's it. So I'll get a couple more shots of that, and I'll put that one up now, and let me know what you think. I hope you like it.
That's it for this week's episode. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider liking the video and maybe even subscribing to my channel. Thanks so much for that in advance, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.